Hey there, and welcome. You might think the way you handle your own paycheck is totally different from how a CEO runs a massive company, but what if I told you they're basically built from the exact same playbook? It's true. So let's dive in and really master this language of money, from your own wallet all the way to Wall Street.
So let's kick things off with this quote from financial guru Dave Ramsey. It just nails this core idea of being in control, doesn't it? It's all about being proactive, not reactive. It's the difference between you being in the driver's seat of your financial life or just kind of being a passenger, wondering where you'll end up.
And here's the kicker, that feeling of control, that power of telling your money exactly where to go, that very same principle is exactly what entrepreneurs use to launch startups and build these huge world-changing companies. The numbers might be bigger, but the rules of the game, they're exactly the same.
All right, so where do we start? Well, it all starts with the single most important person in any financial story, you. Because let's be honest, before you can even think about building an empire, you've got to get your own financial house in order first.
Seriously, think of financial literacy as your own personal roadmap. If you don't have one, you're basically just driving blind, hoping for the best. But when you have that roadmap, you're the one making the smart decisions, steering away from financial stress, and heading straight for a secure future. It's the difference between just kind of stumbling through life and actually designing it.
Okay, so how do we actually build that roadmap? Well, it all comes down to three fundamental, let's call them pillars. These are the absolute non-negotiables. They're the foundation that everything else, and I mean everything, is built on. First on the list is budgeting. And the best way to think about it is like a financial GPS. Think about it. A GPS doesn't care if you took a wrong turn, right? It just shows you where you are and helps you get back on track. A budget does the exact same thing. It's just a tool for tracking what's coming in versus what's going out. No judgment.
Pillar number 2, saving. And I really want you to shift how you think about this. This isn't about punishment or what you can't have. It's about paying the most important person in your life first. And that person, it's you, in the future. This is how you build your safety net for everything from a new phone to a major emergency. And our third pillar is credit. This is way, way more than just some number. It's really your financial reputation out there in the world. It's the story you tell lenders about how trustworthy you are, and it has a huge impact on your ability to get a loan for those big things in life, like a car or even a house. Okay, but we gotta talk about debt for a second, because not all debt is bad debt. There's a huge difference. Good debt is really an investment in yourself that can grow your wealth over time. Think student loans for a great career. Bad debt? That's for stuff that loses value the second you buy it. Seriously, getting this difference is a total game changer. All right, so you've got the personal stuff down. You're budgeting like a pro, you're saving. So what's next? Well, let's talk about what happens when that savings account becomes something more. What if it becomes the seed money for your very own big idea? This right here, this is called bootstrapping. It's the purest way to start a business. You're using your own cash. The upside is massive. You have total 100% control. You call all the shots. The flip side, of course, is that you're limited by whatever you have in your own bank account. But what happens when your big idea is, well, bigger than your bank account? That's when you start looking outside for cash. And it's kind of like climbing a ladder. You might start with an angel investor who believes in your vision, or maybe you try crowdfunding. As you grow, you climb higher to the big players, like venture capital firms or even a good old-fashioned bank loan. And all those options boil down to one huge choice every single founder has to make: debt or equity. With debt, you borrow cash and you promise to pay it back. Simple, but you keep full ownership. With equity, you sell a little piece of your company in exchange for cash. You don't have to pay it back, but you now have a co-owner. There's no right answer. It's the ultimate trade-off. So whether you're running on your own savings or you've raised millions of dollars, how do you actually know if the business is, working? Just like you use a budget to check in on your personal finances, a business has some really powerful tools for keeping score. Honestly, the easiest way to get this is to think of financial statements as a report card for the business. That's it. They give you a clear, no-nonsense grade on how things are really going, telling the true story of the company's money. Okay, first up is the income statement. And hey, this should look super familiar. Why? Because it's basically your personal budget, just for a business. It adds up all the money that came in, that's revenue, and subtracts all the money that went out, those are expenses. What's left tells you if you made a profit or a loss.
It's that simple. Next, we've got the balance sheet. If the income statement is like a movie of your business over, say, a year, the balance sheet is just a single photograph, a snapshot in time. It shows exactly what the company owns, its assets, and what it owes, its liabilities, on one specific day. And the two sides always have to balance. All right, so those statements are great for seeing where you've been. But what about looking forward? Well, you can start with the most important question for any new business. How much do we have to sell just to not lose money? That's called the break-even point. And to figure it out, we start with our fixed costs, things like rent that we have to pay no matter what. Let's just pick a number. Say it's $1,000 a month.
Okay, next piece of the puzzle. We need to know how much actual cash we make every time we sell one of our products. This is called the contribution margin. It's the price minus the direct costs to make it. So let's say for every unit we sell, we make $4 in profit.
And now for the fun part. We just do some simple math. We take that $1,000 in fixed costs, we divide it by our $4 profit per unit, and we get 250 units. That number, 250, is your magic number. It means you have to sell exactly that many just to cover all your bills. Everything you sell after that, unit 251, 252, that's all pure profit.
Wow, okay, so we've gone all the way from your personal wallet to a business's break-even point. Let's pull it all back together and look at the rules that work for both. This is your universal toolkit for success.
Look, it honestly doesn't matter if you're managing your weekly paycheck or a multi-million-dollar company. These rules right here, they're the universal toolkit. Always have a plan, build that safety net, protect your reputation, and most importantly, never, ever stop learning. These are the keys to success at any level. So, we've covered a ton of ground here, right? From the absolute basics to some pretty serious business concepts. But here's the thing, knowledge isn't power until you actually use it. So I'll leave you with this question. Looking at all these financial building blocks we've talked about, what's the one skill you're going to focus on and improve first?